Hello, welcome to today's Daily Dominion, which is an Empire's Hinterlands board. No, there should be another thing, right? Today's Friday. Should be a tri set. Maybe nothing was rolled from it. I don't know how the. Oh, wait, that's Hinterland. No, there you go. Harvest is Cornucopia. Okay. So Harvest is our Cornucopia contribution, aka. I should have brought this up, aka Cornucopia doesn't exist here. It's basically tri-set. And then we have two landscapes. We have Obelisk, which is on the. Does it not show? That would be kind of nice if this showed what the obelisk was. Anyway, it's on the forums. Time to send my message. About to sneeze. Don't worry, I'm muted in. It's powerful. Okay. So anyway, what we got? So tower obelisk is attached to form, so probably the AI will go for forms pretty hard. And then tower gives you points for emptying for copies of cards you have from empty piles, which means again, this is one of those kingdoms where you're not really incentivized to green too much because there are a lot of piles here that you could get multiple copies of. Berserker should be pretty bad. There's just you can gain Enchantress and you can gain Silver, and there you just don't want that many copies of either of those cards. Margrave will be important. Souk just for trashing, and I mean the money's good too, and it works well with the hand size stuff we're gonna have here. The Souks will be important. Overlord will be great. It's good with there's a lot of things that are worth playing here. In will be very important. So we'll just have to kind of run. We're gonna try and get clean with Souk and go from there. So we have the 5-2. So I think on the 5-2 you just do Overlord. You could, or I guess you could go double 5. I guess you could go Margrave, Overlord. You do have to figure out. You know, at some point you have to figure out how to buy the Souk. Which isn't necessary. I mean, to buy the Souk and be able to trash 2 estates, you know, which will require money. It's certainly you could Margrave into a hand like that. Margrave Overlord is kind of tempting, though the debt situation won't be. The debt situation makes it a little bit unappealing because we do want to buy a Souk pretty badly. Trying to think through the implications of it all. On the other hand, just buying Margrave and not taking debt at all into the reshuffle is also not crazy, because I mean, all you really want to do is play Margrave anyway. And it gives you a little better shot of being able to do buy Souk, trash 2 estates. So okay, so I'm thinking if I just open Margrave and take nothing on the 2, then I won't have the debt. If you play Margrave and you draw up to a hand size, or the hand where you have 5 coppers, if you take the Overlord, you just can't do that at all. But if you play the Margrave, you can draw a 5 copper hand off after Margrave play with 2 estates and get a Souk trash. Now that's not that likely either, but I mean it's not unlikely because If you play the Margrave, you know, it's not unlikely. But it's not guaranteed by any stretch. And then you get the Sook, you can go Sook Overlord at that point, and then you should be okay on money. To be able to play Overlords in and then Sooks and stuff. Also, if you just open the Overlord and you don't draw the Overlord on your first hand, then you have a similar opportunity after you pay off the debt. So, I am kind of leaning towards the Margrave nothing, though, actually. To get the Overlord. So, again, we don't draw the Margrave, unfortunately. I think I'm going to put a silver in. Okay, the Margrave simply misses entirely, which is annoying. And then we draw this, which is also annoying. We would like to get a double trash, but we can't here. Actually, oh no, that doesn't work. Let's go ahead and put the Overlord into the shuffle. I don't really know what the AI is doing here. It doesn't look particularly good. We are going to get to play Margrave and Enchantress here and then pay off debt. And then next turn we may have a good Sook. Okay. All right, good Sook. Don't really know what the AI is doing. They're buying a lot of treasure, which is super, super terrible here. So we should be totally fine at this point. Simply based off the AI's turns period here. If we play the Sook, we're gonna have a lot of money, which is nice. We could get another in. Maybe we'll do that. I won't take Overlord yet. They're getting good forums, which is fine. But they're not going to have draw, which is not as fine. They are getting a lot of forums, though. Okay. I probably should have thought about this in discard a little bit longer. Maybe gotten the estate trash, though it's not really a huge deal. This is a funny deck that the AI has. We unfortunately didn't get to the Margrave in time, so we had to play the ends. Okay. The golds are so bad. We would be in trouble if the AI, accepting that the AI buys the golds. But since the AI can actually play the, we still are going to have to, we didn't find the Margrave again, so we are going to have to play one of these as Margrave and have a similar, we're going to end up in a similar spot as we did the last time. It's a kind of a bad shuffle though also. But hopefully the Enchantress is enough to get us around. I think, well, also we can do this. We can go forum in. We can put all this stuff up there. Can you even get Overlord? I don't think I will. Sure, they'll have enough for province if they want it. That's not really going to be an issue for the AI. Let's see. You're just going to keep on playing ends and then play a bunch of sukes at the end of our turns. Well, it probably doesn't matter. I was going to say it may be nice to do another trash at some point, but honestly, it probably doesn't matter a whole lot. Now we're going to start making up some points on the forums. Trying to think if we could play another. It doesn't quite work right. We had one card left, so we can't play in. Another in would play that card or would use that card up as first draw, and then a suk. Like every in suk pair is you need 2 more card draws. So we only had 1 there, so we can't actually. I mean, we could decrease hand size again, and that would give us another 3 more bucks. It might be worth it. But we don't actually have the... I didn't exactly have the money for it. Could buy an Overlord. I mean, we're going to want more of them anyway eventually. We're basically just angling on doing this tower points. The golds are so bad. It's funny, the AI probably could have done a deck that like bought provinces maybe fast enough. I don't know. It's not clear. Our payload's going to ramp up here quite a bit, but... Need to find... Well, I guess one of these can probably be a Margrave. Yeah. We should be able to get around to it. I don't know that what did I toss there? I tossed the silver at some point when I probably didn't have to. Maybe we just buy a suk here. We don't actually need a trash though. We'll just wait here. They get another forum. That's kind of unfortunate. It probably would have been nice for us to get that forum. But we didn't. At some points, there's probably value in playing the suks mid-turn. Like here, maybe. So we buy this obelisk. It's gonna increase their score more than ours actually, but it was gonna empty eventually anyway, so it's better for us to have it. We may need some provinces just to bridge the gap, point gap. We have, though we can also score 30 points by doing in Margrave Overlord. Honestly, so the trying to play this or trying to get the order of this right to do the souks is kind of interesting. Maybe interesting isn't even the word, but it's a little fidgety. We don't get. We're not doing super good on money, actually. I think I'm doing some play order stuff incorrect. I mean, that the last souks were 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good, but we should be able to get down to like 0. Not 0, but at least one souk play at 7. I played too many Overlords as Margrave there. Okay. It'll be bad to lose if we do lose. This is definitely better with respect to the money and the souking, assuming we don't dud out, which is always a risk here. Oh. Maybe we don't want. I don't know what's left. There's got to be another. There'll be another souk in here. Maybe it'll shuffle through. Yeah, okay. We at least have the silver, which is a little better too. Okay, well, we did a little better. We did a little better money-wise there that time, at least. It's pretty important that we don't empty the ends until the last turn. Hmm. I also think I'm forgetting Overlord as Suk at different points. I probably get province. This will be something. I don't know if we're actually going to make it. We should have been able to, but getting there is another question at this point. I think there should be more form. Yeah, okay. Okay, this one money-wise was our best run yet. By a long shot. But we are going to have to get at least through the Margraves. We don't have huge number of turns to do it in. This is bad. There's probably a point where I could have just double provinced and been okay. Honestly, I wasn't paying as good attention to that as I probably should have. I discard these forms over and over again because I'm trying to make sure that if I get to the end here and I need to do a reshuffle, that then basically I'm as close, or that I have some insurance. For drawing through at the end here. Clearly we have to like get through the Margrave still. We're only getting 2 turns. We just play, we guarantee shuffled them into a province hand. Oh my. It's not going to work. We'd have to empty the coppers. We're not going to get 4 turns to do that. Now, maybe, honestly, maybe if we had been like, oh, we need to empty the coppers, 4 turns ago, we might have been able to get close to it, to having enough draw to do that. But at this point, this is just sure not gonna work. We just don't have the money or time. So we only gained 8 points there because they have an overlord. This will be province, easy. And then next turn is province, easy. It's too much. It's too much. They got too many of the forums. I probably shouldn't have taken any of the forums, honestly. At the point I was at. It didn't score. It didn't help me catch up. And it could have been other cards. This is really disappointing to lose. I mean, I understand why they're provincing every turn. That's no mystery. That part's not confusing. But there should be enough alt VP here to make it work. And it's just not going to come close. I can get about... I can't even... I won't have enough money to empty these even. I could probably empty one of them. But you have to, you can't empty it, then it's a 3 pile. But you can... This is bad. I don't know if my draw... Well... I hate to... Okay. This is the second time this has happened in this week, but I opened one card. Well, maybe it was more than a week ago now at this point, but I opened Margrave alone, right? And it bottom decked on the shuffle, on the opening shuffle, which is rough. And there's nothing, there's nothing I did to make that happen. Just was unfortunate. But nonetheless, there are a lot of other things going on in this game that I think I probably was misplaying badly enough to deserve the loss. I'm just clicking the cards now out of despair. There's honestly there was no out. There was never going to be an out. For this particular game. You make quite a bit of money though. Yeah, I wonder if Overlord as Harvest is more money than that's funny. You can play some of them as Harvest because you have pretty good unique. We didn't do the silver, I don't think. So the silver is still in here, so this is probably more than... Probably 3 or 4 again. Oh, man. Bummer. I also bought that duchy at that one point where it was totally hopeless. The other awkward thing about this deck, or the what I wanted to do, which was basically do a 4 pile, is that you can't lower one of these to 1 either, because they can just buy... I mean, they can probably buy 2 of them, frankly. We know they'll buy the province. We're gonna have to go back and check this out. What? They didn't buy... What? Oh no, now this is giving me hope, but I'm sure there's not money. I'm sure there's not sufficient money. We can empty these, and that'll give us about 20 points. I mean, not about 20 points. That'll give us 20 points. They would have to have duchy again. Oh my god. That's so funny. We may not even draw here. It's not. I mean, it's pretty hard for us to not actually draw here, but. That's so funny. So Margaret, like we're gonna get, yeah, we could get 20 here, but 20 is not enough. Not even close, actually. I don't know that we'll get around to the I guess at this point we probably will. Isn't there another something? We again didn't manage the hand size very well at all. Oh man. We can buy a farmland. You know what's crazy about that? What just happened there? What's crazy is if you watch their hand there, they stopped the Margrave. They stopped with a souk. They kept a souk, which is weird because they kept a single souk, right? And 2 golds. That was their Margrave hand. So the souk was enchanted. So they draw 1 card, and the other card on top was a gold. So they're 3 gold. I mean, they only have 3 golds. They Margraved into 2 of them, which is not unreasonable. I played Margrave a bunch of times. But the 3rd one was actually top decked. It wasn't in hand. They just drew it. They could have drawn a copper. They could have, now silver would have worked too. They have 1 silver. And then, well, that's about it. I guess the Overlord, silver and gold were their outs there. But, well, potentially like a forum counts well enough because it lets them see more cards. But it's actually kind of crazy they bought Province off this particular hand because they kept the AI kept the souk. I mean, who knows what they discarded at other points. No, that was me. Anyway, that's sort of crazy that they hit Province on that starting 3-card hand. Not in general that they hit Province, period, but all right. Well, this is depressing. I'm depressed. What can we do? So we were like, like I said, we were 2 points away from 20 more points, but that's not actually enough points. I think I just needed to be, obviously I could green sooner. And then I need to be okay. There's no fixing this, there's no fixing bottom decking the Margrave here. There's nothing. And Overlord doesn't help either because Overlord would have had the same problem. it would have been bottom decked. So that sucks. What did I buy here? This is maybe questionable, this first Enchantress. Maybe we should be second silver. Unfortunately, this isn't like a lot better or anything. Oh, we bought it. We still aren't getting the trashes, actually. They're in about the same spot. There's also a question of whether we should ever trash the estates, period, right? Or just trash the coppers. Since I'm gonna actually do this with a risk of drawing something dead, but we didn't actually get punished by it, so not too bad. We're definitely, I probably should have bought Overlord there. This is me playing my seed, so this isn't like gonna give me a you say the this isn't going to give me the little yellow circle thing. That's like the baby streak, the coward streak. It's not going to give me the coward streak. Also never really have to buy Enchantress because you can just play Overlord as Enchantress, but we want. Okay, we're in the same spot where the forms are getting slammed, which is of course a perfectly reasonable thing to do with them. Not even gonna attack. Now what if I'm into the forms right now? I get 3 here. Is that good enough to be fighting? Or will I still... Oh, they attack me. Interesting. That's new. They didn't played Margrave like 1 time. Okay, see, but they still end up with a bunch. So that doesn't feel too good. This log thing is busted. This is completely useless. This is some kind of draw. But the points aren't as bad. I mean, they don't have the provinces. We could maybe just fight on the provinces without too much trouble. I hate it when that's like the answer. What did I buy an inn? Maybe should have bought a Margrave. They're going to do fine on provinces though, so it may not help all that much. Well, I don't know about this order by them, but buying gold. The other thing that would have been fun to try, I should have kept the form, but that's okay. The other thing that would have been fun to try was the would have been the what am I trying to say? The copper. Trying to do the copper thing would have been kind of fun. Their deck is weirder and their choices are pretty different from what they were doing. So that's kind of interesting. I'm just clicking here. I don't know that these clicks are particularly productive clicks. It'd be kind of nice to get around to the Enchantress, yeah. Oh, we don't have enough. Okay. I don't know that we'll get any productive towering done here. Maybe. Probably not. Whoops. I don't know if we'll make it off this. If they province, we can province duchy, surely. Berserk? Kind of weird. Okay. Well, if we can manage the double again, which I don't know why we wouldn't be able to. Well, I do know why we wouldn't be able to, because I mess up the play order or something. But beyond, other than those reasons, which are pretty apparent and maybe quite likely, I can't think of any reasons. This is pretty close to in hand, maybe in hand already if we draw a Sook or something off this. But this is, you can do you get 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7 is enough, so you don't even have to muck around with it. Well, that's a bummer. I don't know what I did different. Oh yeah, I bought the silver instead of the Enchantress. That was probably, I think the early Enchantress was pretty awful. How do I, we gotta fix this. We gotta make it a yellow. I think the early Enchantress was in fact pretty terrible. But, okay, we're just paying off debt. That's not a great draw. Berserker there is weird. You know what I should do? I can't do it now. I should have kept the estates. Though we can still trash. And then get a Overlord. And these will be like ends. The Berserker's really bad, so I'm getting a little bit of a break from them playing it. They're doing a lot more action stuff than in the kingdoms or in the game we played a second ago. That was wrong order. I don't know if I messed that up earlier too. This is just a stupid draw. I don't know what else to say. There's like four. There's like another in. Yeah, there's 2 ins, 2 overlords in the bottom there. We had a 7-card hand. It was just dumb. Whatever. If I lose, I'll blame that hand. It's not. I didn't do anything immoral. Sometimes you just have to blame the cards. You know, it's my belief. They have a lot of silver. Silver's an exceptionally bad card on this board. You know, I dogged on the golds. The golds were not as bad. The silvers are pretty awful, but the golds, I mean, I'm never gonna not dog on the gold, but ultimately it wasn't. The golds weren't like killer bad. Whatever that means. But the silvers are quite bad. Now, if you draw a bunch of silvers here, it may not hurt you that much. But. So we fight the ends. I keep wondering when or if to go for the obelisks, like at all. So we do 1 Sook. That's a little risky, but. Do we have another Margrave? I can't remember. It would be good to get around to the... And we can just do this. It's this thing where I take the obelisk, or I take the forums, but if they get, 2 on this turn, then well, they just go for a... This is closer to how I envisioned the decks looking in the original, because like we're not getting beat up on the obelisks. We're just playing them some amount. And then we're not getting beat up on the forums. We're going to we're going to ultimately win the forum split, but so like now we have a points lead and a deck lead, and we just can't lose. This is what I imagine it would go like. Though the AI has kind of done some weird stuff here with the silver gains. Like 5 silvers is not a good amount of silvers. But it's a very, very clicky kingdom. We'll say that. And I'm not being like as careful as maybe one ought to be. Across the board here. Because there's definitely, like, here we ended up with less money, which I'm sure is just down to some play order stupidity on my part. We definitely had some stuff unplayed. Well, this was a bummer to lose. I just shouldn't lose this kingdom ever. Maybe not, maybe ever is not the word, but rarely. But maybe we just found ourselves in a rarely. These things do happen. I wonder if it makes sense to ever play like an enchantress like that. Get your starting hand size up. We don't have the actions now for that. I should have kept copper, of course, but... You know, I also haven't been watching buys. I maybe had estate pile out there. It couldn't have been far. Maybe we only had 7 buys, but we couldn't have been far from estate pile. We'll have to remember that right now. See what our harvest gets us for. Wow. That's exciting. Okay, we only have 7 buys here, so we probably did not have 8 last turn. This lasted a long time, though, too. Well, all the games last a long time. Not good. No good. I'm blaming the bottom decked opening. That's my, So when we replay that seat, if we don't buy the Enchantress, we did also make it. But... Okay, I actually like this Kingdom a lot besides the clicking. I think it's a pretty interesting deck because there's this tension between putting cards in hand to get villages, or to have cards to discard within to get plus actions to play the Sooks, which also want cards out of hand. Anyway, it's very clicky, but it's a bit of an interesting deck. Unfortunately, it is pretty one note. It's just this hand size management thing, and it's not the most interesting thing to do over and over again. And certainly my carelessness in it was, I'm sure, part of why I lost the first game, but of course it wasn't particularly close, so maybe there's more to it than that. Anyway, long video because we clicked a bunch. It was probably awful, but I hope you enjoyed the suffering as much as I did, and I'll see you all tomorrow.